Hello everyone, welcome back to Classic Automotive Services. Right, before we start, most people will probably pick up I've got a bloodshot eye, so don't worry about commenting on it. I got something in it the other day, so yeah, if I start wiping my eye or anything like that, I apologise now. So, right, this week we obviously got the Stag that was sat here, not this one. It was basically the project car. We got the front end all rejigged and back into shape, as it had all been cut apart previously. All the front corner had all dropped dramatically. It was actually all the front corner on the left hand side was about 3 inches too low. So we got it all jacked back into place and got the front wing fixed in place just with some little drill screws, front valance in place, front headlight panel all back in place where it needed to be. Just so it makes it easier for the next person that's going to take the car on as a project to actually do it. So it doesn't look quite so daunting when the car looks a lot more complete like it did. We've got some pictures of that that we'll put in. We also got the engine running, as someone had been messing around with the engine on it. Initially, to start off with, it had a little twin choke Weber on it off of a Ford V6, which was never going to perform very well on a 3.5 litre Rover engine. So we stuck with that just to get it running, because that's all we wanted to do, to make sure the engine was sound. And the engine is actually a very, very good engine. When I took the cap off of the oil fill, it was spotlessly clean inside. So we managed to get it running after a bit of faffing around, where someone had got all the timing, ignition timing wrong, the firing order was wrong. So initially it was a bit of a flame and thunder show out of the carburetor, but we very quickly realised the timing was out, retimed it all, and off it went. So that's now gone, and we've got this white one in. This is in for some body work. We won't go into it today. We will go into that when we actually start on it, because we've got another car outside which is actually first in line, which we'll go on to in a minute as well, as that's got some quite odd symptoms. But then the rest of the week, I pushed on and got the cylinder head for the Sprint engine sorted out, as it was in quite a state. So I think we left it, if you follow our previous videos on it, we left off with the head had been skimmed, it acid dipped and skimmed, and the valves had all been lapped in. So that's as far as I got with the head. So we've now got the head fully reassembled with all the valves back in it. Obviously, all new valve guide oil seals on the exhaust side, as the Sprint engine has valve guide oil seals on it. We then got the rocker gear completely stripped and rebuilt. We had to, on an engine rebuild we'd do it anyway, but we had to take it apart and make sure that it was all completely spotlessly clean and clear, due to this engine had issues with lack of oil at the top end of the engine at some point. We'll show you the original camshaft in a minute. So on the Sprint engines, they're not like the TR7 engine, although the block's the same. They all pick up, so the oil feed is in the same place, but the head's a totally different head, and the way they designed it is that the oil feed actually comes up this stud, number 1 stud on the engine, which then pressurizes the shaft. And on the shaft, you've got, obviously it's hollow, you've got oil galleries on the shaft, and each one of these cam carriers has also got an oil gallery machined into it to feed the cam journals. And then the rockers have also got oil feeds in them as well. They've got an oil feed picks up from the shaft, which then feeds the cam on the cam lobes, so they don't knacker the cam lobes. So on the original cam, there must have been a blockage. It was sludged up. I think it was just not getting oil to the top end as it should be, due to the stud being sludged up. Luckily, it hadn't damaged the cam journals themselves, the actual head, so that was fine. So we've now got a Newman's Phase 1 camshaft in there. We was going to go for Phase 3, but after looking at the specs, I think it might be a little bit too leery for the owner. He doesn't want to go massive power on it or anything like that. So we've gone for the phase 1, which is just a little bit sort of better than standard. So yeah, we've got a phase 1 camshaft in there. We've done all the valve clearances on the bench. As it's much easier to do that. You can install the cam, install your rocker assembly, and torque up all your rocker bolts, and set all your valve clearances because they're all shimmed on these. As I don't see how you can actually do the valve clearances on the Sprint engine in the car when the head's on the car without doing a head gasket on it, as these head bolts go through it. So as soon as you release them, because you have to remove the rocker gear to actually do all the valve clearances, as soon as you release them, it's going to disturb the head gasket. So if you do these in the future, you're gonna if you don't change the head gasket, it's probably going to disturb it and blow, or well, you're just asking for trouble. So you're probably going to have to do a head gasket every time you do the valve clearance on them, which is a bit of a design flaw, but that's how they were back then. So yeah, we've got the head back on. Also on the head, all the faces were completely warped. So the inlet manifold face, the exhaust manifold face were completely warped. If you come around and have got the inlet face, it is now all clean and nice and flat. We've got again pictures of that of us doing that, and we also have opened out the ports, so they're all the same size, as they were slightly different. We used the gasket, so all we've done is port matched it to the gasket, because the gasket actually fitted the inlet manifold very, very well. But on the head, you had massive amounts of material blocking it, so you'd have had a massive step in your airflow, which I don't like that. So we've opened out all the ports, so they're the same size. Same with the waterway. The waterway actually had a massive step in it as well. So there's no reason for it to be there. So we've just opened that out to aid a bit more water flow. Now, what caused the head faces to actually warp was that these threads, none of them had been countersunk. Especially it being aluminium, the threads came right to the end of the hull. So whether this had a process missed back in the factory, because I've got other heads, Sprint heads, where they are countersunk, or maybe them heads have been done previously, but this engine had never ever been apart. So what that causes, if the threads come right to the top of the hull, as you tighten it up, the material around the thread will pull as you tighten it, which then causes a high spot on all your fixings. So then all your sealing face where you need to be sealing is low. So what I've done is I've countersunk them all after I've faced it, obviously. I've then countersunk them all and retapped them. I've done every single thread on the whole head. So every single one. The exhaust is the same, even the cam cover threads and the ones on the back. So, which you obviously can't see because I've got the cover on the back now. But that is where we're up to on the engine. It's taken quite a number of hours to get that ahead, so I'm actually happy with it. But it's going to make a big difference to the car. Obviously, no leaks, and it's going to perform as it should. So we'll show you the old cam, as we had to put new cam followers in it as well. So if you have a look at this camshaft, where is it? This lobe in particular, if you can zoom in, right on the tip, it's actually got a very nasty lip on it where the rocker has been running. It's worn a big groove into it. And that one is just doing the same. That one is breaking up. You've got pitting on it. Again, same that one. That's got a very nasty lip on it and it's breaking up. You can see all the pitting. So, yeah, that's a paperweight. And as for the cam followers, excuse me, as for the cam followers, where that cam has been destroyed, the followers are all dished. If you get, you're not going to be able to see it on camera, but if you catch it in the light, they're actually dished and they're breaking up. If you can catch that, you'll see the pitting on it, and they've got very odd wear markings on them as well. That one's the same, all breaking up. So little bits of pitting, that's where it's going through the hardness. So camshaft, cam followers, all knackered. The rockers themselves, these again were badly worn, the actual rockers. So they were badly worn, so we had to reface them. That took a little bit of working out, refacing them, because they had where the lobe on the cam was badly damaged. It basically gouged its way through the rocker face. So we had to reface all of them. Again, got lots of photographs of all that, because they actually come out very, very well. I'm extremely happy with them. So this engine now, it's pretty much there. We just got to do new timing chain. I'm going to order the new timing chain for it, as I've been trying to look for a genuine AE chain, but that's not available at the moment. Can't seem to find one anywhere, so we'll have to stick with a roll-on chain or something. Which there's nothing wrong with roll-on chain, as long as you don't put one of these pre-stretched German chains in there, it'll be absolutely fine. So we have also got, as we mentioned last week, we've got the original Neil Stock Leyland tensioner foot, and what has arrived now is the new timing chain guides. We've got the uprated guides. So if I grab one of these out, you can see they're totally different to the ones you get these days. This is actually a very, very hard material. You can't actually mark it. It feels sort of like nylon, but it's not. It's a very slippery material as well. You feel it is very, very smooth and slippery. So we've got upgraded chain guides for it. So they'll make a big difference on it. So it should be a very, very good engine when it's back together. It's got nothing but the best parts we can find in there. So it should perform and run very, very well. Now we're going to go and have a look at the black TR7 that's outside. We just pushed it out this morning. So that's Monday's job. I've got to get the engine out of that, and we'll show you why, as it's quite poorly. So it's actually got symptoms which I've never ever seen before in one of these. So we're going to have a quick look at it. Right, this little TR7, it's, first of all, it's running extremely hot. It's constantly running at 3/4 on the gauge, and it's losing coolant, which that's not the best thing to do in one of these in the first place. Keep using it if it's running low on coolant. Secondly, the water pump is leaking. You're not going to be able to see it on camera because you have to get right underneath to have a look. It's coming out on the overflow on the block. It's got a fuel leak on the rear carb, which that's no big deal. But it's also pushing coolant out of this cylinder head stud bolt here. This middle bolt is actually pushing coolant up out of that. And then when you run it, it's the exhaust manifold itself is blowing. On number 2 cylinder, it's blowing coolant out of the joint between the manifold and the head. So not 100% sure what the actual cause is at the moment. It's either going to be a majorly failed head gasket, because I've never seen one do that. It's going to be a majorly failed head gasket, probably on cylinder 2. Well, definitely cylinder 2, or it's going to have a cracked head, which is very, very rare on these. I've asked around a few people that have known these cars a lot longer than I have, and it's very, very rare for a head to crack, but it does happen. So what state it's going to be in when we get it out, so we don't know. But either way, we're going to pull the engine out on Monday, and then we're going to get the head off and actually thoroughly inspect it and see if we can see what's going on with it. So yeah, it is poorly, but yeah, we'll sort it out. If it needs another head, I've got a head on the shelf. It does need skimming, but I've got one that I can build up, so that's not too much of an issue. The only issue really is getting the head off. So if anyone knows these, they are a bit of a pain in the ass to get the head off. So that is next week's job. So we'll leave the video there, and we'll put in all the pictures of the engine and what we've done so far this week. So please like and subscribe, and we'll see you next week.